My name is Harlan Whitaker, and I'm 106 years old now. I've outlived everyone who ever meant anything to me, and tonight, as I sit at this battered old piano, I reckon it's time to share the wreckage that's been my life. It's not a story for the faint-hearted, but it's a testament to how a man can be broken over and over, yet somehow keep breathing. When I was 10, my father was crushed in a coal mine explosion. The blast took him and 14 others. That they pulled out charred bones, but nothing identifiable as my dad. My mother, shattered, turned to the bottle and left me and my little brother to fend for ourselves in that God-forsaken Appalachian hollow. By 12, my brother drowned in the river trying to catch fish for supper. I watched him slip under, too weak to swim against the current. I buried him myself with a shovel from the shed. At 17, I forged my papers and joined the Marines, hiding a congenital lung defect that made every breath a gamble. I thought war might give me a clean death, better than starving in the dirt. But Vietnam was hell incarnate. I was a combat engineer, building bridges under fire while Charlie picked us off like flies. I saw my best friend vaporized by a landmine, his guts splattered across my face as I held what was left of him. In one ambush, our platoon of 22 was slaughtered. I played dead in a pile of bodies, listening to the enemy bayonet the wounded, their screams gurgling into silence. I crawled out at night, covered in blood that wasn't mine, only to get captured later. They tortured me for weeks, waterboarding, beatings, forcing me to watch as they executed villagers who'd helped us. I escaped during a bombing run, but not before they carved their hatred into my skin with knives. When I staggered home after 3 tours, they didn't call us heroes, they branded us monsters. Protesters threw dog shit at me in the streets. My own uncle disowned me for butchering innocents. I found my fiancée, Evelyn, had married someone else while I was gone, pregnant with his child. She spat in my face when I showed up at her door, broken, haunted by nightmares that had me choking on phantom mud. I married a kind nurse named Clara, but the PTSD turned me into a raging drunk. One night, in a blackout rage, I accidentally killed her, pushed her down the stairs during an argument. The court called it manslaughter. I served 8 years in prison, where inmates beat me senseless for being a NAMVET baby burner. Out on parole, I tried to rebuild with our son, Tommy, who'd been raised by strangers. But at 16, he joined a gang to escape my shadows and got gunned down in a drive-by. The shooter, a kid high on the same drugs the CIA flooded the streets with back then. He walked free on a technicality. Then came the cancers from Agent Orange. They said, eating away at my lungs, my bones. leaving me hooked to oxygen tanks and drowning in medical bills that bankrupted me twice over. I lost the house, lived in shelters, begged on corners while people averted their eyes. For the last 60 years, it's been just me in this rundown trailer. No kin, no calls on my birthday, holidays spent staring at walls that echo with ghosts. But 50 years ago, I scavenged this ancient upright piano from a junkyard, keys yellowed and warped, half the strings snapped, mirroring the ruin inside me. I taught myself to play by ear, pouring out the agony in melodies no one ever heard. I've never performed for anyone until tonight. I promised myself if I dragged this carcass to 100, I'd come here and let the keys sing my sorrow. My body's failing, heart arrhythmias, tumors spreading like wildfire. This could be my last breath. So if I collapse over these ivories mid-note, let my music be the final wail of a man who endured the unendurable, yet clung to these broken chords like a lifeline.